I have not had any single person in my life who's like my Yoda that I go to. I have always thought that's what mentor was, like what was wrong, I didn't have Yoda. But what I did have is, and if you look up mentor, it's about people who can give you advice at certain times and you have to learn. What I did have is sort of 3 phases in my career where my professors in school, in business school, said 3 things that stayed with me. One was, if you manage the business, your career will take care of itself. So it's like, stop worrying about your career and just try and figure out, which is why I was saying plug into the business. They also said, make sure you have your walking money because business is complicated and sometimes you could be in situations that you don't want to, your integrity is everything. And as you're starting out, just make sure that you can, move to something if you need to disengage from a company or a team that you're not happy with. So that was one thing. The next thing was one of my first bosses at Lotus who, like I said, he told me what I think one of my greatest strengths is, which is I can build a team out of anything. I can get 50 people who don't speak the same language, don't share anything, and we will sit and we will figure out something we're going to do together, and it will happen. It doesn't always happen at the right time or at the right scale, but something happens. And then I guess the last thing I would say is I had a fabulous boss when I was at Fidelity, and we were in a situation where something had gone wrong. It wasn't necessarily me, but I was the one who found out about it. And so I went to this gentleman and I said, look, boss, something's gone wrong and I need you to know about it. And so within 2 seconds, he picked up the phone and he called the head of whatever at Fidelity and, told him what was going on. He said, and the guy on the phone was like, well, who did it? Who did it? And my boss stood there and he said, it doesn't matter who did it. It's my ship. It's my watch. I'm responsible. I take responsibility. And I said, for me, that was so empowering to see this, people are always trying to throw people under the bus and say, oh, it wasn't me, it was you. It was you. It was him. And he just stood there and stood up and said, you know what, this is my organization, my responsibility. I'll deal with it. You don't need to know. And I said, that is the kind of leader I want to be. That's how I want to advocate for my people. And we're all still friends, but to me, those were what did I hear from business? What was my first boss? And then who did I see who was a leader, who I said, that is a phenomenal leader. I want to be like him.